what's going to shock people in the years ahead is that the technologies that really the seeds for all of them were planted in the 20 years that ended in the tech and telecom bubble. So those were the seeds. They've been germinating ever since. And now they're ready to blossom. They're ready for prime time. And it's not just one or two seeds, which has been the history of innovation, like the transistor and the internet and so forth. It's five major platforms involving 14 different technologies. So each of them is evolving, ready for prime time, ready to scale at growth rates that, depending on the technology, are anywhere from 20% to 50% per year.
The world teeters on the cusp of a momentous technological revolution, heralded by the IMF as a catalyst for heightened productivity, global economic growth, and increased incomes worldwide. Advanced economies brace for the impact of AI, with the IMF estimating that 60% of their jobs will undergo transformations due to AI integration. While half of these jobs stand to benefit from enhanced productivity, the other half face disruption as AI applications threaten to automate tasks currently performed by humans, potentially diminishing labor demand and wages. Renowned investor Cathie Wood sees this upheaval as an unprecedented opportunity for strategic investment. Wood, through her firm ARK Invest, identifies 5 innovation platforms converging to drive explosive growth worldwide. She predicts the market value of these platforms to surge from $13 trillion in 2024 to over $200 trillion by 2030, offering substantial potential returns for early investors. Wood particularly emphasizes the bullish outlook for crypto assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum, projecting staggering price increases by 2030, with Bitcoin potentially reaching $1.5 million and Ethereum nearing $200,000. In a recent interview with OPTO Sessions, Wood shared insights on navigating the impending technological and industrial revolution. She discussed strategies for investors to position themselves advantageously for the transformative changes ahead, underscoring the significance of seizing opportunities early to capitalize on substantial gains in the evolving landscape. Before we continue with the rest of the video, do check out Daily 5-Minute Crypto Newsletter with all the latest crypto and Bitcoin news. It's a fantastic analysis of on-chain crypto data and breakdowns, and the best part is it's absolutely free. They'll cover expert predictions, breakdowns of on-chain crypto data, and any breaking news you need to know, all in a nutshell. Click the first link in the description and enter your email to join over 50,000 others in becoming a better crypto investor right now.
It's not just one or two seeds, which has been the history of innovation, like the transistor and the internet and so forth. It's five major platforms involving 14 different technologies. So multi-omic sequencing in the life science space, robotics, energy storage, artificial intelligence, and blockchain technology. So each of them is evolving, ready for prime time, ready to scale at growth rates that, depending on the technology, are anywhere from 20% to 50% per year. AI is a big catalyst here, and that's how we get to convergence. Each of these technologies leads to exponential growth, so sustained growth at a very strong rate. But think about the convergence of these technologies, these 5 major platforms. What you have is all of these S-curves feeding each other, which we think is going to create super exponential growth. And what that means, and what will be so unexpected here, is that already strong growth rates will accelerate and we think create massive productivity gains and opportunities for wealth creation. Artificial intelligence is a huge part of this. In fact, it is catalyzing the other technologies and accelerating them all. The biggest increase in productivity is in knowledge workers. We think there will be at least a 4-fold increase, probably more, during the next 6-7 years. And knowledge workers account for $13 trillion in wages and salaries. So think about that. The productivity, one person can do 4 times more than he or she was able to do, a few years ago. We're already seeing this with coders. Coders, their productivity already at this very early stage is up anywhere from 50 to 100%. Technologies are inherently deflationary, but this is good deflation. They submit to learning curves, which we can measure in terms of costs coming down. and that's passed along in terms of prices. So this is good deflation. And it usually causes booms in unit growth. So all of those 5 platforms, we're going to see massive growth coming out of those. On the other side of that is going to be creative destruction. And what is that? It's really the disintermediation or the disruption of the traditional world order, which is really interesting because many investors now feel very comfortable in these large, broad-based indexes like MSCI World or S&P 500 or NASDAQ. But we think there's going to be a lot of disruption there and to the economy. So it'll feel a little chaotic. The sectors that are ripe for disruption include the entire transportation sector as we go to autonomous mobility, all of financial services as we move into blockchain technology, which is simply the internet financial system. It's the layer of the internet that developers forgot to put in the early 90s. So here it is. It's happening finally, and it's going to upend traditional financial services.
According to ARK Invest's research, breakthroughs in artificial intelligence are poised to serve as a significant catalyst for the exponential growth of innovation platforms. The firm predicts that the global equity market value linked to disruptive innovation could surge from 16% of the total equity market cap in 2024 to over 60% by 2030. Furthermore, ARK estimates that the annualized equity return associated with disruptive innovation could surpass 40% within 6 years, propelling its market cap from approximately $19 trillion today to roughly $220 trillion by 2030. The firm also projects varying rates of growth for each of the 5 innovation platforms, including 37% for artificial intelligence, 50% for energy storage, 48% for public blockchains, 78% for robotics, and 39% for multi-omics sequencing. Returning to Cathie's interview, she delves deeper into the significance of Bitcoin and blockchain technology, emphasizing the importance of positioning oneself appropriately to capitalize on these once-in-a-lifetime opportunities.
A big wake-up call for the financial world in terms of Bitcoin was during the regional bank crisis last year, as the KRE, which is the regional bank index here in the United States, was absolutely imploding. When Silicon Valley Bank and others went under, Bitcoin increased 40%. And, many people who just refused to look at Bitcoin said, wait a minute, what? There's nothing like price action in a bad market, good price action in a bad market, to elicit the interest of investors who were poo-pooers before. And so that's what happened, because for the first time, Bitcoin became a risk-off asset in their eyes. They had only thought of it as a risk-on asset, very volatile, does well in bull markets. But this was a very loud signal. And I think the SEC signal, the green light with the ETFs, our spot ETF, ARKB is one of them, did get more and more people thinking about what you said, Ed. This is a new asset class. So advisor community, you may not like it inherently, but you must take a point of view and tell your clients why you're not including it, because the history of new asset classes is that when you put an allocation into one of these new asset classes, into your existing portfolio, the return per unit of risk goes up because of the diversification and the low correlation to other assets. And so a lot more advisors and investors are taking it seriously now. Mm-hmm. And what I say to most people, not just investors, is you need to know about this kind of research, and you need to familiarize yourself, not just because of your investments, but because of your life. The world is going to transform so completely, we think, during the next 5 to 10 years because of these 5 platforms evolving at the same time, that you're not going to recognize it. So if you want to guide your children or your grandchildren to the right side of change, you have to go back to the early 1900s to even get a sense of this. That was telephone, electricity, and internal combustion engine. This is much bigger than that.
Meanwhile, Bitcoin and other leading cryptocurrencies witnessed a sharp surge in prices on Monday, propelled by a significant increase in spot Bitcoin ETF trading volume, reaching new all-time highs. Bitcoin surged by over 10%, reaching the $57,000 mark for the first time since December 2021, with nearly $200 million in Bitcoin shorts liquidated. Top altcoins such as Ethereum and Solana also experienced daily gains of 6.55% and 10.4%, respectively. Additionally, XRP, Cardano, Avalanche, and Dogecoin saw substantial daily gains, with increases ranging from 5% to 12%. According to senior Bloomberg ETF analyst Eric Bolunas, the newly launched 9-spot Bitcoin ETFs achieved a record-high trading volume on Monday, surpassing $2.4 billion within a 24-hour period. Bolunas announced on Twitter that the ETFs had broken the all-time volume record, with IBIT accounting for $1.3 billion of the total, marking a 30% increase from its previous record. Data from BitMEX research reveals that the spot Bitcoin ETFs received $520 million in net inflows on Monday, the third largest influx since their launch on January 11th. In just 31 trading days, the ETFs amassed 295,318.5 Bitcoin, totaling $6 billion net of GBTC outflows, which hit a new low of $22 million. As these ETFs continue to exhibit strength after 31 trading days, predictions for Bitcoin and other top cryptocurrencies in the days ahead, as well as after the halving event, are eagerly awaited. Feel free to share your predictions, comments, and observations on Cathie Wood's interview in the comment section below. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.